So, you aspire to become a millionaire, the first wealthy person in your bloodline. Get all the money, the cars, the women. The truth is, many have done it before, and their story is far more different than you imagine. Their story is filled with controversies, evilness, and sad endings. Today, we will take a look at the life and death of the richest men that have ever graced the earth. Let's dive deeper. Our video couldn't start without the father of business himself, John D. Rockefeller. But pay close attention to his story, as it will seem normal at first. Rockefeller is considered one of the wealthiest people in history, with an estimated net worth of around $400 billion in today's currency. He made his fortune by pioneering the oil refining industry, implementing cost-saving measures, and establishing a monopoly on oil production and distribution. However, Rockefeller's business practices were controversial, particularly his use of predatory pricing and strong-arm tactics to eliminate competition. Rockefeller was also criticized for his treatment of workers, particularly in the coal mines that he owned. Workers were often subjected to long hours, dangerous working conditions, and low wages. In response to these criticisms, Rockefeller implemented various philanthropic initiatives, including the establishment of the Rockefeller Foundation, which aimed to improve public health, education, and scientific research. But was that the truth? Rockefeller died at the age of 97, with most of his money going to philanthropy and some to his family. While his son tried to maintain his father's wealth, he died some years later. However, the same couldn't be said for Cornelius Vanderbilt, who took the title as the greatest capitalist of the 19th century. Vanderbilt started working at a young age, first as a ferryman and then as a steamship captain. He quickly rose through the ranks and eventually became one of the most successful and innovative entrepreneurs of his time. He pioneered new shipping routes, invested in new technology, and expanded his business to become one of the largest and most profitable shipping companies in the world. In the mid-1800s, Vanderbilt turned his attention to the railroad industry, which was rapidly growing and transforming transportation in the United States. He invested heavily in railroads, both as an owner and as a financier, and eventually became one of the most powerful and influential figures in the industry. But despite his enormous wealth and influence, Vanderbilt was known for his frugal lifestyle and his ruthless business practices. When he died in 1877, his money had gone to his son, who, through his addictive spending habit, had lost all the money in just 10 years. There seems to be a pattern with sons and grandchildren losing all the wealth they amassed, but that's not the case with Henry Ford. Ford revolutionized the automobile industry by developing the Model T, which became the first mass-produced automobile, and by implementing the assembly line production process. Despite his contributions to the automobile industry, Ford was not without controversy. He was known for his anti-Semitic views, which were expressed in his newspaper. The newspaper published a series of articles that contained anti-Semitic propaganda, including conspiracy theories about Jewish bankers and business leaders. In addition to his controversial views, Ford was also criticized for his business practices. He was known for his monopolistic tendencies and his resistance to labor unions, which led to the infamous Ford Hunger March in 1932, in which unemployed auto workers marched on his factory in protest. Despite these controversies, Ford remained a significant figure in American history, both for his contributions to the automobile industry and for his impact on American culture and society. His wealth was inherited by his descendants along with his stocks in the company. All of these people were billionaires at their respective time. But the tale of the richest man to ever live is far different than you would imagine. Mansa Musa, who was the 10th Mansa or king of the Mali Empire in the 1200s, is often considered one of the wealthiest people in history, with a net worth estimated to be around $500 billion in today's currency. He made his fortune through the gold and salt trade, which were major industries in the Mali Empire. Musa also established Timbuktu as a major center of Islamic scholarship and education. However, Musa's legacy is also marked by controversy. One of the most famous stories about him involves his pilgrimage to Mecca in 1324, during which he reportedly gave away so much gold that the value of the metal was devalued for years afterward. In addition to this story, Musa's reign was also marked by controversy due to his treatment of the people under his rule. Some historians argued that Musa was a harsh ruler who used forced labor and conscripted soldiers to maintain his power. He also reportedly took thousands of slaves with him on his pilgrimage to Mecca, further adding to his controversial legacy. After dying at the age of 57, Mansa's wealth was inherited by his children who could not hold the empire together and collapsed. There seems to be a pattern with wealth that it is gone after roughly 3 generations. But there are some exceptions. The Rothschild family. The family was founded by Mayer Amschel Rothschild in 1744. He started his banking career as a coin dealer and soon expanded his business to include currency exchange, commodities trading, and lending to governments. However, the family's wealth and influence also led to controversy and criticism. One of the most famous conspiracy theories involving the Rothschilds is the claim that they control the world's central banks and the global financial system. This theory, which has been debunked by experts, continues to circulate online and in certain circles. One thing is for sure, we will never know what they have done.